All right, look, I know it is tempting if you are a Lego investor or a Lego collector to go to sleep for January and February every year, right? Because in quarter four, in October, November, December every year, we're super busy as Lego investors. We are buying amazing deals in Black Friday. We're buying amazing deals throughout October, November, and then we're selling a lot in December when the holiday rush is happening and we have all of these sales and we're super busy. And so then it's easy in January and February to go to sleep and to just want to relax and to take the foot off the gas a little bit when it comes to running your Lego investing business or side hustle. But here's the thing, January and February are still packed with opportunity. And I just wanted to come here real quick and talk about why I think if you're a Lego investor, you should not be snoozing right now. You should still be buying the awesome opportunities that are out there. Now, why are January and February so powerful and so important? And why should we continue to keep our momentum that we had in Q4 in October, November, December throughout January and February? Well, one of the biggest reasons really is that we just had an entire wave of Lego sets retire at the end of December. Lego sets typically retire, stop manufacturing in December. It also happens in July every year, but we have a big wave of sets that retire in December every year. Now, when they retire, what happens is manufacturing stops on them. However, retailers may still have some stock of those sets. It all depends on the retailer, how many units that they ordered, how many units they have in their warehouses. But usually, some of the Lego sets that retired will have lingering stock. Now, a lot of Lego investors are going to be afraid of that. They're going to think, oh, I'm afraid of buying more of this set because if it has lingering stock now, maybe it hasn't retired yet, or maybe it's going to have lingering stock for 6 months. And so then they stop buying it, right? That's something I see a lot of when I talk to people in the community is they stop buying a set because it has lingering stock after retirement. Well, in my opinion, that could be a big opportunity. If you are interested in investing in a Lego set in order to gain a profit or a return on investment over time, and if that set has lingering stock after retirement, in my opinion, maybe we should be seeing that as an opportunity. And here's why. As a Lego investor, one of the resources that you need to have, that you need to use in your business is storage space, right? It is storage space because when we buy Lego sets to hold them as the values go up, we need to store them. And that is that's the value that Lego investors are adding to the transaction. And the end user a year or two from now of that set, the value that we will bring to them is by keeping it in our storage for a year or for 2 years before we pass it on to them in a sale. Well, when you're talking about sets that have already retired but are still available in retail stores, you are looking at a set that you have not had to store for the last 6 months or 4 months or whatever, right? When you were buying all of your other sets, this one was still sitting in storage at the retailers or in their warehouse, and now you're going to go pick it up in January or February, which is after the set is already retired. So you have saved yourself a few months of storage. Now, some people, they're going to have infinite storage. They've got a big warehouse or they've got a big garage next to their house that they have tons of space. But a lot of people, they have limited storage for Lego investing. And so you need to think about storage as a finite resource that does have a value. Even though sometimes you can't see a dollar value on your storage space, it does have a value. And if somebody else has been storing your sets for you and that retailer has been keeping that set in stock and then you're going to swoop in and buy it after it has already retired, then you've saved yourself on that storage. That is an actual tangible, valuable saving right there. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is you are also going to shorten your hold time on that set. Now, this is crucially important. When it comes to hold time on Lego sets, this is another area that's really important for us as Lego investors to pay attention to. And over time, as you optimize your Lego investing business, you're going to want to shorten your hold time, particularly if before the set is actually retired, it's not even growing in value yet. So you want to shorten your hold time. And the best way to shorten your hold time is to do it at the start, right? To buy sets a little bit later. Because that is the easiest way to shorten your hold time. It's harder to sell sets earlier at the end of your hold, but it's easier to buy them a little later and shorten your hold time at the start of your hold. If you're going to be buying Lego sets that have already retired in January or February, then you're going to be really shortening your hold time because you could have been buying those sets 6 months, even 8 months before that, right? And now you're going to save all of that time in hold time. That could mean that you've had that capital or that money invested in other Lego sets, and then you sell them in December, you get it all back, and you reinvest it immediately in sets that have just retired, right? Just retired. So for your turnover and for your hold time, it's amazing if you can find opportunities in January or February, because you've shortened your hold time, you've saved yourself on storage space for a few months, and also you are putting your money to work immediately in Lego sets that have already retired and soon will dry up likely, and then will straight away start to grow in value. So there's a lot of really, really good benefits and value to buying sets that have retired recently, that have already retired. Now you may be wondering, why am I talking about this stuff? Shane, why are you talking about sets that have already retired? If they've retired, we can't get them, right? I can't find any sets out there to buy. They do come up, right? Those opportunities do pop up. So in January, February, the reason that it is so important for us to not go to sleep is that we should be looking for these opportunities. We should be looking to buy sets that have just retired. Okay, that's where a focus of a Lego investor should be in January and February. You should not be looking only at 2023 or the end of year retirement and start buying them right away, because the stuff that just retired in 2022, that's better for us to be focusing on right now, and the opportunities are out there. If you look hard enough, look in the different retailers, look on lego.com or whatever your local Lego shop at home website is. They have some stuff today, right? I actually looked before I jumped on this video. They have stuff today that's in stock that retired at the end of 2022. You could also look at Amazon. You can look at Walmart, Target, all the big box retail stores. You can set up alerts on different services such as camel.com for free. Now, the other thing that you can do, and this is definitely recommended, is to look at more obscure retailers, right? Look at smaller retailers. Find those websites, those e-commerce companies that are a little bit smaller, that are not the big Walmarts and Targets and Amazons, because sometimes they can hold stock of retired Lego sets longer than others. For example, when I go to my hometown, right? My hometown is a small little town in Ireland. It's called Wexford. It's in the southeast of Ireland. That's where my family lived. That's where I was born. And when I go to my hometown, I always go to the toy store there and have a look at the Lego section. And there are tons of retired sets there. There's always tons of retired Lego sets there. Now, unfortunately, the prices are a little bit high, but they hold retired sets because the demand is a little lower in that town. It's a small town, and so those retired sets, they last like 6 months after retirement. Even though all of the big box retailers have long sold out, this one small little toy shop in a small town still has stock of retired Lego sets. That's just an example, but the reason for that is because, it's a small, more obscure place that Lego fans don't really know about, and they're not rushing out there to pick up those retired sets. So those opportunities could exist in your town as well, and they could also exist on smaller websites that you can order sets from. And some of those websites still have stock of retired Lego sets a month, 2 months, 3 months after retirement, and those could be opportunities for you. Now, the other question that you might be asking here is, if I can't get a great deal, Shane, should I be buying these sets? Because in November, I was able to buy them for 30% off or 40% off. And today, the retailers are not discounting them as heavily because stock is drying up. And typically when stock dries up, the retailers don't have a reason or an incentive to drop the prices. So should I be paying full price for these sets because I can't get them at a discount? Now, I can't give you a simple answer to this question because it just depends on your circumstances. It depends on what set you're looking at. Here is the way I approach it in general. Firstly, I only pay MSRP full price for a set if I really, really have a strong feeling about the set, right? If it checks all of my boxes, that is the only time I'll pay full MSRP. But there is a consideration that you need to make here, is that firstly, that's storage saving, right? The fact that you have not had to store the set and the fact that you are shortening your hold time, that is valuable, right? So you have to factor that in. You have to remember that you have gained a lot of value with those two things. And so now it is a better time to pay MSRP than ever before. If you really wanted to do it, this is the best time that you've ever had to do it because the set has already retired and you've saved on those two things, on hold time and on storage space, both of which are very, very valuable to the eventual return on investment that you're going to get here. So this is the best time there ever was to pay MSRP, but that doesn't really mean that always it is worth doing for a set just because it retired. It's still worth researching the set, thinking about the supply and demand, doing the usual checks on whether or not it's going to be a good Lego investment in general. However, here is a bonus benefit that you're going to get here. If a set has already retired, sometimes you can already see how it is performing, right? Sometimes you can already see, is this going to be a strong performer? For example, if you already see, look at Amazon.com or eBay, and you already see that the prices of this set has started to jump up because it retired last month in December, and now all of a sudden it dried up, the stock dried up on Amazon, the price started to jump on Amazon, but then Walmart came back in stock, or Lego.com came back in stock with another pallet of units, and all of a sudden you have an opportunity to buy it again, but you can clearly see that the price has already started to grow on the third-party platforms. This is a massive bonus benefit that you get, because now you get to see, are there lowball sellers on the listing? Is it jumping in price quickly? How is the early performance looking compared to what you would have expected? This is all really, really good information to have. And if you can see the early performance of a set before you invest in it, that is also super valuable. So there's tons of really good stuff happening here when it comes to buying Lego sets for an investment in January or February. Now, the reason I say January or February is usually because by March, a lot of these opportunities have gone, and they are really kind of early in the year that these opportunities happen. So at this time of the year, every year, my focus is on buying those recently retired sets at every opportunity that I can find. And then after that, my focus will start to transition towards buying the 2023 stuff. That's typically how I approach my buying every year. Now, if you want more quick tips and strategies on Lego investing, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, because I'm going to have amazing content coming this year to help you building an epic side income in your Lego investing journey. And if you want to go even deeper than that, you want to join my Inner Circle membership community, where we do monthly meetups and brainstorming sessions. We have tools to help people search for Lego sets and find which ones are going to be best to invest in. And we have a private members only area full of content, private behind the scenes content that I've made about my strategies with Lego investing. The link to get access to that is in the description down below as well. And with that, thank you so much for being here. I'm Shane from brickbucks.net, and I will see you in the next one.